Scratch is a software program built by MIT, but it is not just software, it's a whole language. And code written in Scratch can be translated into JavaScript, which is used to build websites, or Python, which is used by NASA. And Scratch is not alone. There are a multitude of mods such as Gandhi IDE, Unsandbox, Shredmod, and so many more that use this same language. But the question is, why learn these mods? In fact, why learn coding at all? Well, today we are going to answer both these questions, so let's grab a coffee or beverage of your choice and get into the video. When you might think of coding, you might think of a nerd sitting at a computer typing on a keyboard, or you might even think of the IT crowd. But today, coding is all around us in our day-to-day lives. From the artificial intelligence on Google, Bing, and Facebook, to graphic design and the film industry. Today, it's almost embarrassing to admit you don't understand code, making code literacy an essential requirement for participation in a digital world. Code literacy means being able to read and write code. Now allow me to quickly cover why this is important for employment. More and more websites and apps are using artificial intelligence chatbots, typically using what's called ChatGPT. Now, we're never going to fully understand how these things work, as they are far too complex. To put it simply, they come under the category of generative AI. The more they generate, the more they learn. But what we can understand is how to build one. For example, let's consider this basic chatbot. We have the ability to set up the background information or the context. Next, we can decide what type of chatbot we want. Here, we have the persona the bot assumes. And of course, we name it. Then we decide how we want the bot to speak. For instance, should it have an affect, an accent, etc. Now, all this has been simplified. But now we understand how this works, we can begin to understand how to set up the chatbot. And we've only scratched the surface here. Many websites have artificial intelligence, and some far more complex than others. And of course, you can also code websites and apps. More and more companies and businesses are migrating online, and they need to make their presence known. And a website and/or app can really help. In fact, there are many jobs where coding is used, such as computer programmer, front-end developer, back-end developer, full-stack developer, IT technician, data scientist, system administrator, computer systems engineer, computer systems analyst, software test engineer, business intelligence analyst, cybersecurity analyst. Wow, that was a long list. And if that sounded a bit too technical or geeky, then no need to worry. Coding is also used in creative fields such as video game designer, web developer, software application developer, and even graphic designers and filmmakers are learning to use code. So coding is becoming more and more a necessary skill, and it doesn't have to be as scary as ones and zeros or those black screens with green HTML written on them. No, this is the modern age, and coding languages are here to make our lives easier. So, now you know why coding is important. Let's answer the second question. why learn mods? Well, as you may already know, Scratch was designed for 8-year-olds, and because of this, usability was prioritized over functionality. Now, this isn't as bad as it sounds, but it does mean there are limits on what can be done in Scratch. Some people have even gotten to the point where they feel they've done all they can, and they have left Scratch forever. Now, to quote the Val Nakut from Star Trek Prodigy, there is no barrier we cannot overcome, and this is especially true with Scratch. For a start, the mods we use all feature extensions and settings that allow us to do many things, like changing the size of the screen, removing clone and fencing limits, and so much more. But it doesn't stop there. We can expand the code available to us by getting extensions. Now, while Scratch only has a tiny handful and we cannot install custom extensions, our mods are a different story. Gandhi IDE alone has over 70 extensions, whilst Turbo Warp has at least 97 extensions. Madness! But we'd be fools if we gave you all this without a guide in the right direction. And as our name implies, that is exactly what we plan to do. If you are interested in what mods we plan to use, then check out modsquadacademy.weebly.com/create. All this talk about mods, AI, and awesome extensions is getting me very excited for our 2025 Academy course. We've been very busy preparing and have just released our new website, modsquadacademy.weebly.com. You can also visit our Facebook page for regular updates and catch our videos on our new YouTube channel. And we can also be caught on Scratch, Adacraft, and we now have our own site over on Gandhi IDE. And if you have not heard already, we are looking for a local school or similar venue where we can run a comprehensive coding course, teaching advanced Scratch techniques and introducing life-saving extensions like Gandhi IDE's Simple MMO. Simple that it's such an understatement. And make sure you regularly check in and follow our page for regular updates, like the news of our in-development asset library. Oh, I really cannot wait. And that is all for today. Have a great week and see you soon.